أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am so glad that you are with us tonight to review Surah Yusuf. We are in chapter 12, and it is indeed page 235 according to my Quran here, and that is almost like the beginning of chapter 12. Just one or two pages from Surah Hud, and then you go to Yusuf. Inshallah, today I would like to cover Surah Yusuf, the concept and the main theme of Surah Yusuf and the stories, and inshallah everything will be fine. Yeah, Dr. Sadl Ura, grandson, mashallah, may Allah bless him right there with us. Dear brothers and sisters, Surah Yusuf is the best story that anybody can tell anyone. Not only, as they say, for the structure of it, but it is a complete story. First and foremost, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us. And that's what's making it the most beautiful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said here, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنَ الْقَصَصِ. We will recite for you the best stories. And we'll come to the meaning, inshallah, and some of the explanation, as I just want to start, inshallah, reciting at least a page or a little bit more. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام را. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين. قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون أرسله معنا غدا يلهث. الحمد لله رب العالمين. أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون. قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون. آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum again, and may Allah bless you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open our hearts and accept our prayers and our fasting. Again, I would like to cover briefly the meanings. As you know, we have limited time. I want to cover the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, but it is more than 111 verse. Exactly, 111 verse. And they are so wonderful. There are so many meanings to cover. And therefore, in brief, the story of Yusuf alayhi salam starts from inception, as we say, to the end. Complete story. And it is the story of a human being that is noble, that is later on prophet, and the most beautiful after Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The beauty of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam make the people, at least the ladies, cut their hands while they are looking at him. So his beauty is what we call akhad, something that will take the mind. The beauty of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam will make you humble, and you will put your head down. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu and Umar radiallahu anhu, they are reported that they could not even continue looking at Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam beauty out of the haya and out of the humbleness. But Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam has that beauty that takes the eyes and takes the hearts and the mind as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that Yusuf alayhi salam have seen a dream, and he is the son of Yaqub. Yaqub is the son of Ishaq. Ishaq alayhi salam is the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So from Ibrahim to Ishaq to Yaqub to Yusuf. And that is indeed what's happened. The story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. And it is very important to realize the chain of commands here or among the prophets. Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, who became prophet later on, as we will know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to him, have seen a dream that 11 stars and the sun and the moon are making sujood to him. So he told his father about it. His father has that instinct of a prophet first, and inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, don't tell your brothers about it. His brothers is from another mother, other mothers than Yusuf. Yusuf was young boy, and his brother, younger brother than him, Binyamin. Binyamin was also his blood brother from, of course, they are all blood brothers from father. But Binyamin and Yusuf alayhi salam, they were the children of Yusuf and his wife, the same wife. So they are brothers, like siblings of the same mom and dad. He told his brothers, Yusuf, don't tell your brothers who is older than him. And they noticed that Yaqub was favoring Yusuf, and therefore they want to get rid of him. He did not tell him because he said, إن الشيطان الإنسان عدو مبين لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان كان الإنسان عدو مبين. Imagine somebody like very careful from his own brothers and sisters. That is a very kind of difficult relationship. Bad. One should not feel that way. However, sometimes it happened, and sometimes it happened between parents and children, children and each other, and children and parents, and so forth. Yaqub alayhi salam, he was counting for that. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us how they thought about getting rid of Yusuf, because they noticed that he is favored by his father, and they are not taking the attention, like needed attention from their father, the Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam. And they come to, some of them suggest to kill him. The other one said, no, let's put him in a well. And in that well, down there, somebody will come to get some water and will notice him of those travelers, and they will take him. And that's what happened. They put him in a well, and they said, in the evening to their father that we took Yusuf to play with us, and we left him there, and unfortunately a wolf came and ate him and killed him, and here is his shirt and nothing left of him, and so on. So the story, probably you know it. He said, that's impossible. I have to accept it because I have no reason to dispute, but it is not really, did not get to his heart as Yusuf alayhi salam being killed. Sure enough, people pass by, pick up Yusuf, they find him young, beautiful young boy, They said, hey, this is our like gain, let's go and sell him, as it was the tradition of the people before to sell and buy a human being. And they sold him to the ruler, or the minister in Egypt, one of the ministers in Egypt. And that minister, he doesn't have children. He told his wife, let's adopt him. He is a beautiful young boy. Let's adopt him and consider him our son. And we will be like, he will be taking care of us, and we'll take care of him. Sure enough, when he grew up, he became very wonderful young man. The woman become attracted to him, and راودته عن نفسه. She tried to entice him so he can commit fahisha or zina with her. And he said no. قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواي. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, honored me and loves me and saved me. I cannot first commit this crime against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then against my master, the one who taking care of me, raising me, to do the fahisha in his wife. And then he have seen some evidence of iman that strengthened his commitment and his stance. Later on, however, she insists on him, and he started running out toward the door. And when he was running out toward the door, she grabbed him from his shirt, from the back of his shirt, and torn the shirt. The shirt was torn from the back. And while they are about, he's about to leave, her master came in, and another friends with him, and she said to just clear herself and to show that she is not the guilty party. She said, what's the punishment would be for somebody is going to attack your wife? And right away, she make the judgment that he should be either imprisoned or punished or killed. And of course, Yusuf alayhi salam, an innocent man, he said, I have not done anything wrong. She is pushing me and so forth. And then the person who was with the master, he said, yes, let's make a analysis of the situation. And he said, if his shirt torn from the front, then probably she is right, because she was defending herself. He was coming toward her, and that's probably true. But if the shirt is torn from the back, then he is right and she is wrong. And when they found out that the shirt was torn from the back, then he said, oh, Yusuf, you are right and she is wrong. And he told her to go away. However, after discussion and debate, and in those high class situations, among those people up there, like the king and the ministers and all the people, there have to be something to take away the attention from the woman. And they put Yusuf alayhi salam in prison. And in fact, he chose that. He said, قال رب السجن أحب إلي فاستعصم ولئن لم يفعل لآمرنه ليسجنن ولا يكون من الصاغرين قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني كيدهن أصب إليهن وأكن من الجاهلين. He said, Ya Allah, to go to prison is much better for me than to commit this violation and this to settle down with the women and so on and so forth. And now later on, what happened before he went to the prison? Other ladies heard the story that the Mra'atul Aziz, the wife of that gentleman, who is you can say prime minister or minister or chief minister of the country, of the kingdom of Egypt at the time. They started exchanging talks that she is trying to seduce her servant, and that was not acceptable. And how she's gonna do justify her situation? She called on them. She invited them for an evening, and she offered each of them an apple and a knife and fruit. So and then she asked him to walk in front of them. And when he walked in front of them, they look up to him and they were taken by his beauty, and they start cutting. Instead of cutting the fruits, they start cutting their hands, their fingers, and they start bleeding. Again, as we said, because Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him so much of beauty and nice looking and so on. So that's how she said. She said that this is the man, or this is the young man that you are blaming me about, seducing him. In fact, I do seduce him and I want him. And she expressed her desire. And if he doesn't do it, I will put him in jail, or will get him out, or punish him. And then he chose the jail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him in the jail from all those evil outside, and give him so much time to reflect and to think. And he gets so many revelation during the time of jail, and da'wah that he made to the people who were there, and protect him from the evil outside. So sometimes hardship, difficulties, brothers and sisters, it shows the nature of the person, as we always say, and it really polish your vision and your understanding of issues and matters. One of the matters that two people start asking him to interpret their dreams, and he did interpret their dreams eventually, and he told one of them, you're going to be saved and you're going to be in the king palace, and the other one, he said, you're going to be killed after you leave. And that's what happened. He told the one who will be saved to remember me when you go to your Lord or your master, your king. And he forget that other prisoners. He forget to mention Yusuf alayhi salam. Until down the road, the king himself saw a dream of 7 cows, big, huge cows, eating other 7 cows, weak and skinny cows. That dream comes again and again to the king's mind. And the king was irritated and bothered by this dream that comes days after days. He asked all the people and the interpreters and the scholars around him. Nobody gave him a satisfying answer. Then he said, the guy who was saved and he was prisoners with Yusuf alayhi salam, he said, I have somebody who will interpret dreams for you and it will be true, because he had experience. They said, who is that? He said, Yusuf in the prison. And the king sent after Yusuf alayhi salam to come and to interpret that dream. When the envoy from Yusuf, from the king, the messengers from the king to Yusuf came, he said, the king wants you to interpret his dream, this and that. He said, no, I'm not going out. How come? He said, because now I am accused for the last, they said, 8 years that Yusuf alayhi salam stayed in prison, and nobody judged me, and I have to be clear. It is not right that you can go on just for rumors or for wrong accusation. And of course, the king investigated the situation, find out that the woman was not telling the truth, and Yusuf was truthful and innocent. And then he sent him another invitation, telling him that he was innocent and he would be honored and respected, and his rights or his honor will be restored to him. Then Yusuf alayhi salam went to the king and met him, and he explained to him what to do. And that would save Egypt at that time and the whole region from a huge famine. And that famine was caused by a natural drought that happened in the desert there, or in that region at that time. And he told him the solution is to plant wheat and corn and other source of living for 7 years and store it. Keep it in its bushes and where it belongs, and store it for 7 years. After that, 7 bad years will come, and you can use the resources you saved to those 7 hard years. And then after that, rain will come and prosperity will come and everything will be all right. With that plan, Yusuf alayhi salam saved Egypt. Of course, the king considered him to be the finance minister, or the minister in charge of managing the economic affair of the state at that time. During that time, what's happened? People from all over came in to get their sustenance and to buy their wheat and corn and life supplies. And here we go. The family of Yusuf alayhi salam, his brothers, become older, but he remembered them. He remembered them exactly, because when he was a child, they did not remember him, but he remembered them. Their features did not change too much. And when he saw them, he said to one of those, he told them that I'm not going to sell you, the first stage of the story. I'm not going to sell you until you bring me a brother of yours from your father, bring him in. And they were surprised, but they have to listen. They went back and told their fathers that story, that the king of Egypt, the finance minister in this case, they did not know that he's Yusuf. He wants our brother to go with us. And Yaqub alayhi salam was hesitant to send him. But he said, you know, فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Allah is the best protector and he is the most merciful. He sent Binyamin with them. And when they get there, he got his brother, secure him in his place, and he told him secretly or privately, he told him that I am your brother, don't be scared, don't worry. I just want to make sure that they don't harm you or hurt you. And later on, he filled up their product, he gave them, exchanged them, and so forth. But he put the mikyal. The mikyal is like the measurement, the pot that they use, which is bought from gold, they use to weight the wheat or the corn. And he put it in his brother bag, in his brother bag. And then he told the people that the measurement of the king was stolen. And everybody started looking, and they look around, and then he said, okay, let's start with you guys. And he started with their bags first. They did not find anything, and then they find it in his brother bag. The Sharia at the time of Yaqub alayhi salam, that if somebody steals something, to be taken for what he has still stolen. And they said, you know, we don't know, that's young boy. He said no. Yusuf alayhi salam said no, I have to take him. And he intentionally did this as a plan to keep his brother with him instead of sending him back. And then when they went back to their father, they were very frustrated, of course. And then their father sent them back, and he said for the third time, go back and look for Yaqub and your brother Binyamin. I'm sorry, look for Yusuf and Binyamin. And لا تيأسوا من رحمة الله إنه لا ييأس من رحمة الله إلا القوم الكافرون. He said, look for Yusuf and look for Binyamin. Don't give up unless nobody give up on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rahmah. Now, with that, they were kind of surprised. He said, يا بني يذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف وأخيه ولا تيأسوا من رحمة الله إنه لا ييأس من رحمة الله إلا القوم الكافرون. That Yaqub is still remembering his son Yusuf. That triggered something in their mind. They went back and they said, yeah, king, or Mr. Prime Minister, Finance Minister, sir, we are really hurt. Our people are hungry. We need the food. Please help us. He said, do you remember what you did with Yusuf? Oh my God, Yusuf. And they start looking at him and they find their brothers next to him. He said, there are Yusuf. And they were like happily surprised. And then they admit, they said, oh, Allah favored you and your brother over us. Please forgive us. And then what was the position of Yusuf alayhi salam? He said, لا تثريب عليكم اليوم يغفر الله لكم. Don't worry about it now. Allah will forgive you, inshallah. And he said, okay, now go back and take my shirt to your and throw it at my father's face, and he will come back with vision. And Yaqub alayhi salam, he lost his vision over the time because he cried so much. He cried so much during his missing of Yusuf alayhi salam. So what happened? They went back, they brought Yaqub alayhi salam and his family and all their tribes and so on, and they came into Egypt to be honored and to be respected and to be well treated at that time. And then after that, he told his father that this is my father, look, this is my dream come true from the beginning of the surah, that 11 stars and the sun and the moon are doing sujood for me, which sujood mean here honor and respect. It doesn't have to be sujood of the one that we know, which is to prostrate down. But even if that's the case, prostration at that time for that purpose, it doesn't mean like ibadah or anything like that. It's just a show of honor and respect. So he took his father and his mother, raised them, put them in a very honorable place, and brought the rest of the family and the tribes. And after, he said, after wajakum, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from all the plots, his brothers first, and then of course the one who raised him and his wife, and then the life in prison, and then of course when he became a minister of finance and in charge of Egypt at the time. Now all of these stories has so many other in between meanings and revelation, you can say, that will be wonderful to understand. But toward the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ذلك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ذلك نوحيه ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك وما كنت لديهم إذ أجمعوا أمرهم وهم يمكرون وما أكثر الناس ولو حرصت بمؤمنين. That this is not a story that somebody making up. This is a revelation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us to teach us lessons through it, how to be patient, how to be optimistic, how to be relying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how not to give up no matter what, even the last minute of one's life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ أَجْمَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ وَهُمْ يَمْكُرُونَ. You know, sometimes people, they think that they are doing something and they will be blah, 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 blah here and there and conspire and talk nonsense. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hearing all and seeing all. Unfortunately, وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Not even the majority of the people are, even if you care so much about them, they will be mu'mineen. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to come to a conclusion here, and then inshallah, toward the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that this is what will happen to all the believers throughout, even prophets. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِمْ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْقُرَى أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَيَنْظُرُوا كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَدَارُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ حَتَّى إِذَا اسْتَيْأَسَ الرُّسُلُ وظنوا أنهم قد كذبوا جاءهم نصرنا فنجي من نشاء ولا يرد بأسنا عن القوم المجرمين. Now, even prophets, sometimes they feel like, Ya Allah, what's next? You know, the situation is so bad. Look what's happening in Gaza, in Palestine, in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Somalia, in many, many other places, right? Libya, Yemen, etc. And the mu'mineen everywhere, even those countries and elsewhere, they say, Ya Rab, Ya Allah, what's happening? Why? Why our people are like killed? Why our people evicted and so on? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testing, dear brother, testing the people. All of that would be just to purify them, to test them, to make them feel like there is no solution but to be dedicated to the cause of Allah. And the solution comes from Allah. At the darkest time in the morning, the dawn start coming. And that is the situation always. When it is really hard and tough and difficult, but you are patient and you are mu'min, then inshallah the solution will come. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. There was stories for the people of brain and people who have albab. Albab is aql. مَا كَانَ حَدِيثًا يُفْتَرَى. It is not the story of somebody making up. It is not a novel out of my own like thinking. ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل كل شيء وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون. Guidance and mercy for the people who are believers. So the foundation, dear brothers and sisters, Iman in the beginning and Iman at the end. Aql in the beginning, Aql in the end, thinking and contemplating. And finally, it is total reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His qadr. And ما قدره الله سيكون وما لم يقدره الله لن يكون. That whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant to be, it will be, and whatever it's not meant to be will never be. So with that, inshallah, and it is about 30 minutes or so, I would like to stop and see if you have any question and comments, and I will make some announcements, inshallah. That is the end of story of Surah Yusuf alayhi salam. And we are into the chapter 13, inshallah. So next tomorrow, Allah give us life, we'll start Surah Al-Ra'd, inshallah, and we'll go through the rest of chapter 13. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our salah and siyam and qiyam and sadaqat and ihsan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala peace and blessing be on all his prophets, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the one before him. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خيرا. Please, if you have any question, any comment, let's do it now and conclude, inshallah. Anybody have anything to say?